Truth is, having covered this for some time now, sometimes it's impossible to absolutely establish the veracity of some of these accounts. But, we asked a lot of the same questions. We heard a tip that this had happened, that a man had been pulled out alive after being trapped the entire time now, 4 weeks to the day. And we went to the hospital where he was taken to try and investigate that a little bit. The images that you're looking at are some of the first images of him actually in that hospital, according to his brother. Say he lost over 30 pounds. Doctors, nurses, all very busy trying to resuscitate him. He did describe having received water at times over the last 4 weeks. In fact, he said someone in a white coat would bring him water from time to time. Whether he was hallucinating to some extent or what exactly happened there is unclear. But to your point, TJ, I think there's absolutely that he would have had to have had water at some point. Otherwise, he simply wouldn't have been able to survive. Look, I asked the same questions that you're asking to the doctors that cared for him initially. Here's what they said.
He was emaciated. It was obvious that he hadn't had anything to drink or eat in quite some time. He had open wounds that were festering on both of his feet.
But you believe it? I mean, you believe it to be true. This would be the longest survivor so far of this earthquake.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason for me to doubt it. That's what the bystanders relate to us. And the patient was so incredibly weak and frail when he came in.
As you look at some of these images again, some of these exclusive images, it's worth pointing out that when he came in, his vital signs were weak, but relatively stable. He had lab work, blood work done that was consistent with someone who was severely dehydrated, severely malnourished. But he did not have crush injuries, these crush injuries that we've been talking so much about, and that may have been a big indicator, a big help in terms of allowing him to survive this. But again, no matter how you cut this, it's extraordinary. And as things stand now, he is the longest known survivor, a month to the day after the earthquake, TJ.
And Sanjay, you said he would have had to. There's no way he would have survived without water. So he had to have gotten water some kind of way. What about food as well? Can you go that long if you have water and not the food? And is there a report, wasn't he trapped somewhere in a market or somewhere where he might have had access to this stuff?
Yeah, it's interesting. There have been documented cases of people fasting, for example, TJ, going up to even a couple of months without food. So I think it is possible to say at a month's time without food he may have been able to survive. But with regard to water, there's no absolute study that says you can't survive past day 6 without water. It's dependent on the conditions around you. It's how hot it is, how humid it is, all of that. But I think it's safe to say that at 4 weeks he would not have survived unless he had access to some water in some way. He was trapped in a marketplace. He was selling rice, apparently, but it was this particular location where he was trapped. I don't know if he actually had access to that food at the same time.